Hello everybody, welcome back to another reading. Today we're taking a look at the case of 24-year-old Rory Gene Kesinger, who disappeared, or rather escaped, from Plymouth County Jail on the 27th of May of 1974. She had been arrested and jailed after she had attempted to murder 2 police officers in Pembroke in Massachusetts as well. Police had gone to a home in Pembroke to deliver a notice of a traffic violation. And when they arrived, Kesinger, among several other people, scurried out the back door into the woods, so the police gave chase, and the only reason why they managed to catch her was because she tripped and fell. Now, initially she claimed that she had been assaulted and she was only wearing lingerie, but she then grabbed a gun and tried to attack the person who had chased her down. She was then taken to a hospital, I'm assuming because they wanted to check her injuries. And there she tried the same thing on another officer. This time she was also not successful. Now, Rory Gene had a history of substance abuse and criminality, and she ran with a certain crowd. And when she broke out of jail using a hacksaw blade that was supplied by someone, presumably a guard, they assumed somebody was waiting for her because she was immediately gone. And that was also the last time anybody heard anything from Rory Gene. Now, sometime later, people thought that she was indeed the Lady of the Dunes. There was a Jane Doe found in the Provincetown Dunes. People assumed it was her because it was roughly the same time. It was found in 1974, so like a year after she escaped. Initial DNA tests were inconclusive, but eventually a DNA test was done that was actually useful, and they tested against Rory Gene's mother, and it was not a match. So whoever the Lady of the Dunes is, we don't know. At least it's not Rory Gene. So nobody knows where she is or what happened to her, and that is why we're going to take a look at this case using the tarot. We're going to start off with the vice versa deck, which is already on the table. And for any further questions, moving on to the Tarot Mucha deck, which is this one. Now, as per usual, I'm just going to start shuffling the deck. As soon as I have about a table full of cards, we're going to stop and take a look. So without much further ado, let's get started. Okay, we're starting off with a bit of a challenging position over here. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse, and we're looking at the other side. We also have Strength in reverse, also looking at the other, well, upright, sorry, but we're looking at the other side, and we have the Eight of Swords. So this kind of strikes me as there's a certain connection that she's kind of cutting ties with, or trying to cut ties with, but she's having trouble. Because as you can see here, you may have strength, but look at what's on the other side over there challenging you. That is definitely not an easy opponent. And so we are still kind of stuck in this mindset with the Eight of Swords, but the sun is shining, and I kind of feel like this may be almost like a realization that she had, like, okay, I'm kind of stuck in the situation, but I also know that I can get myself out of it. So I think in secret she kind of didn't want to go along with what she was doing beforehand anymore. She had some habits that I read about that were not very helpful, and maybe she was coming to a bit of a turning point, almost not able to step out just yet, but looking at things and going, you know, I can't keep doing this, and I really should just stop, and I know how to do it, so I can if I really need to. Then we have the King of Cups over there, but he is in reverse. We have the Four of Pentacles also in reverse, and we have the Four of Cups also in reverse. All right, so there's a lot of reverse here. So it's looking like somebody whom she was associating with was very emotionally manipulative, and they made her make choices that were not great, and she also regretted them afterwards. Obviously, the Four of Cups is normally like, I don't really feel like choosing it because any of these options don't really interest me right now. And I think in this case, it's also kind of like the options that do arise are not interesting enough, and they're just not really options. Like, okay, well, it looks like something I could do, but I really can't. You know, like some people say, well, you can always leave, but you know, it's not really an option, and the person's not actually going to leave because they don't have anywhere else to go, that type of thing. So I think that's what's happening in relation to this King of Cups in reverse. Now the next row is very interesting because I am seeing a repeat of a card, but we'll get there in a moment. We start off with the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords, and they're both in reverse. But then we're followed up by this Knight of Pentacles, who is basically looking away from us. But these two over here, these might be inner demons struggling with whatever's going on inside of her mind. Like the Page of Wands wants to do things, is very actionable, wants to get stuff done, but in this case they're doing the wrong things, or they're not thinking things through, which is also kind of echoed by this Page of Swords, which is definitely not thinking anything through and may actually be speaking before their turn. But they may be kind of like fighting internally with whatever it is that she is struggling against, whatever that may be. I believe it's her addictions. May also be just the people that she is associating with. They're not likely to let her go so easily either. I mean, they do suspect that somebody was there waiting for her on that 27th of May to pick her up. So probably somebody there in that same circle was there to pick her up, and they're in a certain mindset that she used to be a part of, and I guess she still is at this point, but she's struggling against it in private, I think. But we do see here a very practical Knight of Pentacles, whom also is showing us all of the goods that he does have. I mean, they're looking at a bleak landscape, but they do have things on them. They have some herbs, they have the pentacle, of course, and they have some wheat there stuck into the waistband. Like, okay, yeah, it's not much, but we can make it work, like that type of thing. Like, even though she's at probably a great disadvantage, she does see opportunities to fix things for herself. And then the next card that we have here is actually the Ten of Cups, but look who is in the clouds. That is the Ace of Cups again, and it's in the same position as the one we saw before. Actually, no, it's looking the other way around. Actually, we're looking at the front this time, which may make it even more interesting. So not only do we not have this going on, so it's not like a happiness in the company of other people. We're looking at what almost looks like some type of heaven perspective, like, oh my god, if only I could get there, like almost like a come to Jesus moment. I think like she had some type of revelation internally that made her go, wow, I really can't keep doing this anymore. And the next card that we have here is the Four of Wands, which is normally like a partying type of thing, but over here we can clearly see that that is a Pan character, which is like a little devil type thing, a beast thing, and they're not exactly happy about it, at least not from this angle. From the front you would think, oh, they're dancing together. She's kind of doing this dance where she's clapping and jumping back and forth, kind of like what he's doing. But from behind it looks a lot more bleak, and also they appear to almost be trying to get away from them toward the sun, because they are currently under this thing where they're in the shade, and she might be like, I need to get away from here because this is the thing, the realization that's hit me. I really need to get out of here. The dove on the ground there is definitely not flying away, so there isn't that much joy, because usually when there's like a joyful scenario and there is a white dove involved, the white dove is like spreading its wings out, flying out there as a sign of freedom and peace and all that sort of thing. But it's actually just ground bound right now, not going anywhere. We have here the Ace of Pentacles, and it is in reverse. So now we're possibly spending things incorrectly, not thinking too much about it, but also not caring what other people think, because there's people walking in the background and they're totally disinterested in what she's doing, and she might also be disinterested in what they're doing. And normally it would lead to something bountiful, as you can see, but the reverse is more of a more practical side. Like, I just, first of all, need a place to stay. I need somewhere off the streets. And maybe she actually went to get a room. I mean, the pentacle is hovering right above those windows over there, which makes me think that maybe she actually scraped together whatever she could find in order to crash somewhere, like legitimately, and start over. That's kind of what these cards are pointing towards. Let's see what happens next. Oh. And one on the floor. One on the floor. This is the Lovers, and it's in reverse, and looking at the angel thing above them as well, looking very strict. Also noticed that snake there in the tree next to the woman right there. It's kind of like giving me the vibe that she also broke up with somebody. She may have had some type of, I want to say on again, off again type of relationship, like not a very solid relationship, but kind of like somebody that she used to hang with, and she is now breaking ties with them, possibly to their face. I don't know, but they're at the very least no longer signing up for whatever it is that they used to agree with, which is also kind of what we had with the cups earlier. And a Four of Wands right there. So this is maybe a official breakup moment where whoever it is that you used to hang with is now officially being made aware that they are no longer buddies. Let's see, we have a card that flipped here. This is the Nine of Wands. She is just kind of tired of fighting. Tired of the lifestyle, I imagine, because it was quite a hectic lifestyle. A lot of stuff happened in her life that eventually led her to jail. No idea what happened in that house where she was originally spotted, but I imagine a lot of things happened in her life that she's not very proud of, and she definitely wanted a break from that. So not only was she trying to get away from this person, she's also like telling them, you know what, I'm just kind of tired of all this. I want it to stop. And then we have the Magician over here, who is also very actionable and very good at making things happen. So I feel like this also gave her a boost, that she was able to do things that she's always wanted to do. This may be the fresh start vibe, like I can do anything I want as long as I set my mind to it, and I'm just gonna go and take care of business like that. And then we have Three of Pentacles, kind of wants to be on its side. So people are kind of working together and kind of not. They may be pretending to be working with her, but we also have the Moon here. So maybe somebody is pretending to be on her side and pretending to want to help her out, but meanwhile having other intentions possibly. And the thing that's coming to mind over here with me is that these people that she used to hang with, of course, they share things with her, and now that she's looking to go, even though she may have said, I'll never tell anybody what we've been up to, they might not trust that will always be the case. And I'm thinking that that might be the cause for this Moon to pop up and this Three of Pentacles being on its side, like you're pretending that it's okay, and oh yeah, you can walk away, that's fine, but ultimately it may be the type of lifestyle where you just can't really leave. You can never really leave, that type of thing. So now we have the King of Wands stepping in, possibly putting more of a burden on her because it fell pointing towards the Nine of Wands right there. Like, okay, you think you're tired now? Guess what? I think this person stepped in, and this may be somebody who is a little higher ranking, possibly within those circles. Somebody who knows what's what and who can tell other people what to do, and they're currently like stepping in, perhaps to try and prevent her from walking away, or at the very least they have something to say about that. And since it is a Wands card, they probably have actions to back that up as well. Oop. Whole stack fell face up, so I'm guessing that means we're gonna take it. So we have the Eight of Focus, I was going to say Eight of Pentacles, but it is a focus card. That's why I said focus initially. So we're working very hard on something. Now this could be that she's working very hard, but it could also be that they're working very hard, or a combination of both. Like she may be working hard on her things that she wanted to take care of, and he may be working very hard on whatever this is. We have the two over here, the High Priestess, and this one is aware of things that she might not be aware of, and it could also symbolize that her awakening, because we are putting it right next to this card right here, is taking another step forward. So I feel like we're kind of seeing two sides of the same coin here. Like on one end we see her on their side, and we're also seeing her side, where we're both working very hard on something and aware of things that the other person might not know, but it's different things all round. This is probably her card alone, the Nine of Cups, so she's feeling pretty good about whatever it is that she is doing at the moment. She's also tired of fighting. There is some internal struggle regardless, but I feel like she's being very practical, because the next card that we have here is the Queen of Pentacles. It is in reverse, maybe not spending the money the right way. Maybe that she is spending money, I almost want to say like joining a cult type of thing. Like she is spending money with a lot of conviction, but it's not what we would consider the right type of things. But she's feeling really happy about that. We've had this combination before a while back, where somebody, I feel, who also disappeared, may have done something similar. Like maybe they found some type of group of people, a commune or something, that they were like, oh yeah, if you join us, then you're gonna have to leave all your worldly goods behind. You can put them in a box right here. And then she put all of her stuff in there, thinking that that was the best thing to do. That's kind of what's coming to mind at the moment. We have here the Six of Cups, so we're remembering things that used to happen in the past. This scene is very interesting. Like this guy, when these three over here appear to be having a moment as children, and then in the background there's a whole gate full of people that look like they may be going to war or something. So that's not very good, but it may be that she used to have fun things happen among the chaos. Like maybe she had a very problematic childhood, and or at least things in her childhood that still didn't sit well with her, but there are little bright moments there that she's now remembering. Of course, she is leaving a lot of stuff behind, which is a kind of like fitting the thing that came up earlier with the commune. Like, okay, I'm just going to leave everything behind because that type of thing, and that inheritance that I thought I was going to have, I don't need it anymore. It's not really something that suits me anymore. And we're continuing this with the Page of Pentacles, also in reverse. And now we're in another type of mindset that we are trapping ourselves in. And this one, I think, is also self-imposed, because it is, of course, the Eight of Swords, which is a self-imposed mindset that keeps you trapped in a certain location, but you could take the blindfold off, and actually the ribbon is not that tight, so she could easily remove that from herself, and she could step forward and remove herself from the Forest of Swords as well. So this is a self-imposed trap that she's put herself in, it appears, through spending her resources unwisely by our usual worldly standards. So let's see what happens next. Oh, this one flipped and it landed right on top, so I'm gonna let it drop right there. It's difficult to tell with this deck if something's flipped or not, unlike the other ones. Okay, so we have here Nine of Pentacles again. She's feeling pretty good though, because this card is very radiant and there's a lot of sunshine and a lot of other types of wealth. But if she's abandoning a different type of wealth, and then we are traveling, so now we're making plans to go somewhere because we have the Three of Wands next. So she is going places and leaving things behind. So this does look like we're moving in somewhere where she is requested to leave things at the door. Okay, but now we are back. Oh, once again, we have the Ace of Cups in the background. There's a lot of Ace of Cups over here. So she is really running from one connection to another, or running away from one connection to another. And we have the Two of Cups here, which is a very light version of the Lovers, but it's on its side. So this may be a one-sided agreement. Like maybe there's somebody in the commune who is the leader, so to speak, and they demand that you are on their side and that you are faithful to them, but the other way around, that is not really a thing. But I feel like she didn't actually mind that too much. Also, their simple outfits is once again strengthening my belief that she did join some type of commune where they tend to all dress the same to like cast off any worldly identity type stuff. She may have actually gone and run off with a commune. This was the mid-70s, early mid-70s. It's possible. I mean, communes and cults exist in every age. That one wanted to, but it didn't quite, so I'm going to leave it right there. Nope. That one's on the floor. I'll grab it. Seven of Swords. Alright, so we're stealing away, and maybe this is also her possibly not signing up fully herself, and maybe trying to come up with ways that she could take advantage of them somehow. Like some of her old self was not quite deleted, it didn't quite die. We do see a skull there at the base, and maybe that's something that she's leaving behind, but I do feel like there's something that kept coming back within her that led her to doing these types of things. And it may also be that she just withheld certain things from people that they may have asked her about, but she never really answered. So she could be just plain deceitful, or she could be trying to take things from them. Like she could have like left out the fact that she was in jail at some point, or that she held a few people at gunpoint, and other things that she may have done in the past, or she could literally be looking at what people are leaving behind and thinking, how can I get my hands on that? And we are being very careful here with our resources with this Two of Pentacles. So we're also doing a performance here, because this character is doing a performance for some people, I believe, over there. Like being a jester type, amusing the people over there, offering some type of entertainment. So she may be putting up a front, while in the background we do see a ship that appears to be waiting just off the coast, like, oh la la la, look at me, I'm just doing my thing, don't think too much about it. But then when their backs are turned, perhaps we'll see her running off with something, I don't know, but let's see what happens next. That one. The Emperor is here, and he is also holding that golden sphere that reminds me of the Pentacles. I think that maybe they are aware of what she's doing, and maybe she's entertaining the king over here, like some type of court jester. But they don't seem like the type of person that you can just fool easily. Like he really does have the scepter in his hand. And this is an Ankh, I believe, which is also like about life, I think. So he rules lives and holds everything in his hand, as you can see. Also battle ready with that armor. That must not be comfortable, but apparently he feels it necessary to wear it. The blue necklace, what is that? It looks woven or something. Which kind of reminds me of how they would put stuff around people's necks just for like honoring them in some way, like, oh, you're now one of us, here's one of our special necklaces, that type of thing. So they may be the ones that are keeping tabs on that sort of thing. I'm also getting a bit of a vibe of this is my racket and you can't really take control because I'm smarter than you, I'm older than you, and I've been in this business longer. Like that type of thing's coming up. Let's see, we have here, this is the Queen of Cups on its side. So maybe you're trying to appease people while being kind of half truthful. We're once again pretending over here. So maybe she encountered this person, whoever was at the top, the emperor, and they were like, I'm looking at you, I'm seeing things, and like, oh no, everything's fine over here, la la la. Let me just help you out with that, and can I be of service some other way? Like trying to placate them somehow. Let's see how it ended though, because, well, it may not have ended. She may still be there, but we haven't heard anything from her since 73, and that has been 50 years. So she would definitely be a senior if she were still out there. But let's see what we can find out about the rest of it. How it ended. What happened next. Oh. Oh, there's 3 of them. That one landed off screen. Here's one. Some kind of twisted, so there was at least some type of chapter ending thing. We have the 9 of Swords as well. We're very worried about something, and there is an end to an era here. She may have gotten found out for sure, and in this case it worried her quite a bit. Possibly for multiple reasons, because it's also on its side, which I kind of always see like a dubious thing, like maybe yes, maybe no. And it also has a little bit of, yeah, here we go again. This is kind of how things always go, because usually when something's in reverse, I tend to see that, particularly with the swords, as this is something that's been going on for some time, that's like part of your personality, that type of thing. And it's like she sees things falling down, sees things crumbling, her plan crumbling, and she's like, oh no, here we go again. I need to quickly do things, and she's very worried about what the outcome's going to be. And we have the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, so we made a wrong investment. Again, we saw the 4 of Pentacles earlier as well. She did not make a great investment with that as well. So once again, eggs in the wrong basket. And maybe no eggs in another basket, so none of them may have been saved. In any case, her investments have gone to waste, so this may lead to her actually being kicked out of whatever group she was now a part of. And then we have here Hierophant. Yeah, somebody's coming down from above, possibly to influence this, and also looking very pious. There's a person over there looking quite naked and maybe put down upon. In any case, this Hierophant is coming from upon high with his lovely outfit and all of his wealth, with the paupers in front of him. So they're definitely like making sure that she knows exactly what her place is and that she's definitely outranked in this. Nope. 2 of them, and they're on the floor. This is 1 and this is 2. Alright, so again we have the 7 of Swords. I think this is more of a revelation of the deceit that she's been planning. So she did actually plan something over here, and now we have people that are kind of dropping her, but there's also people that are kind of supporting her. So there's a bit of a fallout within the group as well. People that aren't appreciating her trying to stab them in the back basically, and others that are like, yeah, that's a good idea. There may have been other people also part of this group that were having similar ideas, or were waiting for somebody to try something like that because maybe they felt trapped. In any case, there is a mixed response to this whole affair. That one. 5 of Cups. Okay, so we've lost things, and we're not happy about it, but we're also not able to see the things that we still have. So I think that part of her did kind of want to stay with these people, and maybe she felt like, oh, I've ruined it because of my old habits. Why do I always do this type of thing, like that type of woe is me energy that she's got at the moment, and she's not looking at anything that she does have. This also feels a bit like an Eight of Cups because we already see the bridge in the background, and it kind of looks like the same scene of the Eight of Cups as well, where they walk away from things. So they may be like, I don't really have any other good things happening, and I don't really want to give this up, but I have no choice. I really ruined it this time, like that. Whoops. And the Four of Cups, all right, so there's not a lot of choices that she wants. None of the choices or options that she actually wants to choose. So we're also just kind of feeling bad for ourselves. More woe is me energy over here. Oh, so I feel like she really wanted to stay with these people, and then being caught in her old ways. There we go, Eight of Cups. Okay, so we're walking away. The story writes itself. So we're walking away. This Eight of Cups does not have the bridge, which is interesting to note because I was just talking about how it looks a lot like this one, but this one does not. We're still feeling kind of down. There does appear to be the ghost of a smile around the corners, or maybe I'm just kind of imagining that. You guys take a look and see what you see, but they're definitely walking away from this, and maybe also walking away for good because this area looks fairly desolate. There's no town visible in this card. So maybe she's just like, okay, well, that's it then. I've tried everything. I don't have anywhere to go because we have the Three of Wands over here. So there's nowhere to travel to, no plans to make, at least not any good ones that she can come up with last minute. She may have been wandering the streets. Also not wanting to return to her old life, I suppose. Oh, there's that one. Whoop. And also nobody to connect with anymore, nobody to have that party with, nobody who followed her probably to wherever it is that she went. So she's on her own, she's out there by herself, having nowhere to go. Okay, and then we have the Empress. Alright, so maybe she found somebody to spend some time with. There is, oh, that's her own hair. She's leaning on her own hair. That's kind of weird. But okay, so maybe she's gone into some type of natural environment because I'm looking at this embankment that she's sitting on. She may have just decided to go and try and live in the woods or something, or some type of natural location. Let's try the last few cards. We have here the Nine of Cups. It's kind of on its side. We have the Eight of Wands in reverse. Nine of Cups, I'm guessing, is on its side because she's trying to feel happy. But if you look over there, that Horn of Plenty is empty. So there isn't anything really to celebrate. But I'm guessing she's kind of like, okay, well, I guess it's just how it's supposed to be then. We're not trying to contact anybody. We're not going anywhere fast because the Eight of Wands is in reverse. So she's also not trying anything new, not spending too much energy in that regard. Kind of like a giving up and settling for whatever reality there is. We are avoiding any type of organization because we have the Hierophant in reverse. This one looks very much like this one as well with that outfit. And so they are like just trying to stay by themselves. They're trying not to join up any groups. They're not trying to join any type of belief system or anything like that. They're completely by themselves on their own and choosing to no longer interact. Okay, here we have a whole bunch of cards. We have the Queen of Wands. This is the Queen. Yes, it is the Queen. And she's looking at what looks like an Egyptian statue. It almost looks like the Sphinx, but it's not. I don't think there is a statue in Egypt that looks like that, but that's what we're looking at. Maybe also kind of like a reference to the Sphinx, which has a whole bunch of riddles. So maybe she's trying to figure out her life. Also, these branches or whatever this is, roots are very knotted. So maybe she just spent a lot of time trying to figure herself out, trying to figure life out, and mostly on her own, like almost like some type of wise person that just chose solitude like that. Just taking a completely different step. We have here the Three of Cups, which is normally like a party type of thing, but we're by herself, so she's trying to be as happy as possible as she can by herself, while also coming up with new plans, new ideas. And the Seven of Wands is in reverse. And normally Seven of Wands, I feel as people coming for your position, like you're being challenged on some type of position that you've taken. But I feel like in this case, it's also kind of like I'm no longer joining in that rat race. I'm by myself, I'm doing my own thing. The Ace of Swords is also looking at a forested area with a path down the middle. So I think she really did literally just choose her own path and wanted to figure things out for herself by herself. So possibly that's where she ended up. She may have been wandering around and definitely not looking to return to wherever she came from. She's left all that behind her. So who knows where she went, but that is what I'm seeing for Rory Gene Kesinger. I hope you found that interesting. In any case, make sure to leave a comment and a like. That really helps the channel along. I know every YouTuber says that, but it's the truth. If you want to subscribe, that's also very much appreciated. I hope to see you in another reading. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.